a messy mind. Think I need to help you. I'm gonna try. Cute as hell, baby. Hotter than flames. Wanna burn together in a million ways. Now let me take the lead. Know you wanna play with me. Got secrets you might wanna see. You might wanna see. You might wanna. I know I'm not gonna regret this. Wanna get reckless, but you to the test, yeah. I know I'm not gonna regret this. I wanna get reckless. I wanna get reckless. I wanna get reckless. I wanna get reckless. Couldn't keep your poker face. But boy, you kept me waiting when I wanted to race. Sweet as hell, baby. You're a sugar rush. I knew you were given temptation, was craving. You love it, you hate it. Now let me take the lead. Know you wanna play with me. Got secrets you might wanna see. You might wanna see. You might wanna. Lock the door, zip it off. Kiss my neck, but you want more. Scream your name deep in the night. Work your way around my thighs. Just pull my hips, not gonna lie. I scream your name, I shut it down, 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 down. I know I'm not gonna regret this. Wanna get reckless.
What's the story, NXT fans? Tonight's topics on the Wrestle Story are the aftermath of NXT TakeOver,
Candice LeRae heads towards the women's title.
a big match set for next week,
All that and more on tonight's Wrestle Story.
Welcome back to the Wrestle Story, where we discuss all things wrestling, the legends of the past, the superstars of the future, and the trailblazers of the future. We stream every Monday after Raw, every Tuesday after SmackDown, every Wednesday after NXT, and we will occasionally have a stream sometime during the week if we have news. We also stream after every pay-per-view.
We do. Tonight is Wednesday. We are talking about NXT. NXT. Not. I almost said NXT TakeOver. I don't know why. I'm still on that high from TakeOver because
Yes.
it was so good that I don't know, man. I almost said NXT TakeOver.
Yeah, I figured there'd be kind of a letdown tonight, and there'd be a lot of recap of what happened.
And there was a lot of recap of what happened. But the matches were good. I thought the matches were good.
Yeah, they weren't too bad.
They really weren't.
So we start out. We have the match between Candice LeRae and Aaliyah.
All around good match. I figured that Candice LeRae was going to win just because I think they're going to give her a big push for the women's title going forward. Probably heading towards the next TakeOver. She will get an opportunity and maybe win the title.
Yeah, I think she's going to start getting a big push here. I think that, I wonder how much shakeup there's going to be with some of these NXT wrestlers, some of them moving up to the main roster, how, people moving around.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the big match that we have for next week, there's already going to be some change made.
I think.
So we'll see what else happens over the next, week, 2 weeks, maybe in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, so Candice LeRae ends up winning this match, as I predicted. And like I said, I think she's going to be pushed for the women's title in NXT. I know she was supposed to be moved up originally. Like, she was supposed to be put on the main roster a couple weeks back, and then they scratched that. And so I'm curious as to why they did that. So, I mean, maybe they were going to put her in this title spot anyways. Who knows?
Possibly. I think she's gonna, like I said, I think she's gonna start to get a big push. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Then we have after she gets the win, we have a video, and this is gonna be, looks like our first move as far as, a shakeup.
Sort of, in a way.
Well, it's
yes.
a move for Velveteen Dream and Buddy Murphy match has been announced for the NXT North American Championship. Why are you laughing at?
Because.
Did I mess up his name?
No, my head is going invisible.
I know.
We're having issues with lighting, and I don't know why.
It's that light above you, I think.
I don't have a clue.
Good job.
Like, I'm going invisible, and I don't know why.
You're turning into a ghost.
I guess I am. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird.
So essentially the video was back from WrestleMania weekend when Buddy Murphy lost his championship and Velveteen Dream kind of there we go. That kind of fixed it, but it also didn't. Velveteen Dream essentially was ripping on Buddy Murphy for losing his championship. And so this is kind of expected to have them have a type of a rivalry right now.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Well, and again, this is a move for Buddy Murphy because being on Live 205, there's a lot of people that do not see him.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a big change for him, in my personal opinion. I think, this is the step that he needs to possibly get moved up to the main roster where I think he probably deserves to be at right now. I
think he deserves to be at the main roster. I thought he deserved to be on the main roster before, and I still think he deserves to be on the main roster now.
Yeah. So then we have a recap of the Aleister Black and Ricochet versus the War Raiders from NXT TakeOver. Not much to talk about here. We kind of talked about it and hit on it the other day during our NXT TakeOver stream. So if you want to see that, you can always go back and check that out.
Yeah, but essentially they just showed highlights from the match and then the ending where Ricochet and Aleister Black said goodbye to the NXT crowd.
Although it's kind of weird because they're still showing them as NXT up on the main roster. When they announce them, they still have the NXT symbol next to them.
Maybe they're waiting till the shake-up, till the apps, they figure out where they're getting put.
That's possible.
To then switch their thing over. Because you notice how, if a SmackDown superstar shows up on Raw, they have a SmackDown, their nameplate is blue.
Yeah.
And if they're a Raw superstar going on SmackDown right now, their nameplate is red for Raw. So maybe that's what that is, and they just haven't made new ones yet.
That's possible. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't have an idea where they're going to go or what they're going to do with them. But anyway, then we have the Kushida signing his contract from New Japan Wrestling.
Very excited to see what he does.
I just hope they use him right and use him correctly. Or, if they ever move him up, which, I think there's a possibility that could happen. I don't think they brought him over here to stay on NXT for a long time.
I was going to say, I think it'll be pretty quick. He might win the NXT championship or something, or he might win, because that's what they did with Nakamura. He came in, he won a championship, he was there for a little bit, he was champion. He already had a name built up for him because he was well known from New Japan, and then he went up to the main roster.
Well, and that's why I just hope that when they do it, they don't, mess him up and use him the right way.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see what he does in NXT and if they push him a lot just because of his name and people know him from that.
Then we have Danny Burch versus Jaxson Ryker.
This is a rematch from last week.
Yeah.
No, I think he can't speak. He fought Oni Lorcan last week.
Yeah, I think it was Oni Lorcan last week.
I'll double check.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
I'm pretty. I think you're. Yeah.
overall, not a bad match. The expected outcome.
I don't think Jaxson Ryker has gotten a loss in NXT yet.
No, I don't think so.
So
he gets the win. As I said, it was kind of expected for him to get the win in this match.
Yeah, it made the most.
You know what's kind of
sense.
funny is you haven't seen Keith Lee and
Dominic Dijakovic.
Yeah, they were supposed to have like a rematch like several weeks ago, and then didn't have it.
And then they didn't have it, and then I'm pretty sure it was last week. I think I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this. I'm double checking this right now.
Did I just forget about it?
What was last week's date?
The 3rd.
Last week, if I go back and look at our notes from last week's NXT,
Was it last week?
I think it was last week that Keith Lee.
See, NXT Takeover.
Yeah. Dominic Dijakovic and Keith Lee in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So we're not supposed to see it this week. We're supposed to see it next week.
Yeah.
Cross your fingers if they still are keeping that.
Yes. Which would be a good one. So then we have Shayna Baszler's interview.
It was from after her match, talking about how she's the most dominant woman in the division, and look what she did out there, and I beat everybody up.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they're going to keep her, at NXT, or if they're going to work on maybe shifting her up also. Especially if Ronda Rousey's going to be gone for a while. We'll see how much. It'll be interesting to see how much shakeup's going to be. Are we going to be looking at a lot of new NXT people coming up? And new faces in NXT, or where are they going to take this and
who's going to go where?
Yeah,
I'm very curious.
Then we have a Pete Dunne interview after losing again. It was after the NXT takeover after losing to Walter.
Pretty much all he said was,
"I will get the title back." Basically, what he's saying.
There will be a rematch.
Yeah.
So expect to see that in the future.
Then we have Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole video, basically kind of recapping what happened at NXT Takeover.
And
again, if you haven't seen NXT Takeover, get the WWE Network. You can get it free for a month. I believe you can still get it free for a month.
Pretty sure.
And watch it because I said it was one of the better pay-per-views I've ever seen. So
now of the weekend, what was your favorite?
What was my favorite?
Mm-hmm.
NXT Takeover.
I like WrestleMania, but
Well, but you like it for one reason. But
that might just be me.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was a decent show.
It was okay, but just the hype of NXT Takeover from start to finish was a lot more than WrestleMania. But then when you're looking at like 19 hours of wrestling, it's hard to keep the hype going a long time.
Yeah.
So then
one thing I do want to touch on real quick with the Adam Cole thing was that they showed the interview, so to speak. It was kind of the backstage video from after TakeOver went off the air, and it was Adam Cole, the Undisputed Era, backstage. And they were, Adam Cole was essentially blaming the Undisputed Era for being the reason as to why he didn't win that match in the first place. And then he was like, cut the camera, you're not supposed to be back here, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to say they're going to split them apart.
That's my guess. I would say they're splitting up. Now, if that means Adam Cole maybe going to be making a move to the main roster at some point in time, I don't know. He's one that I think could go up.
I would like to see Adam Cole moved up right now.
Yeah, I think he could go up
like
right
in
now.
The Superstar Shakeup.
It's just a matter of what, having a storyline for him. I don't want to see him just move him up just to move him up. I want to see storylines for these people because obviously the last time, or a couple of times ago, they didn't have like storylines for some of them.
And they're just now finally starting to do something with, Lacey Evans. The EC3 is still nowhere to be seen, and Nikki Cross is doing who knows what.
Yes.
So, the only one getting a push out of the ones that were, and Sanity. Sanity disappeared off the face of the earth. So the only ones who are doing good things now in the WWE would be Lacey Evans. Finally.
Then we have a promotion for the Velveteen Dream versus Buddy Murphy's for the North American Championship next week. So next week we should have 2 solid matches with Keith Lee and
Dominic Dijakovic.
And then this match for the North American Championship. So there should be 2 solid matches next week if they keep to their guns.
Prediction right now, I'm saying that Murphy's going to walk out with the championship.
We'll see what happens.
Who would be your pick in this situation?
It depends on what they're going to do with these wrestlers. I mean, I don't know. I would say the Dream. Nah, yeah, the Dream keeps it.
I'm going to go with Murphy taking it.
All right.
And we'll see.
So then we have the Street Profits versus Aichner and Bartel.
They're really trying to push the Street Profits right now. Like,
well,
I think they're going to be the next one that goes.
Tag team division right now, outside of the War Raiders, has kind of taken a hit. And I would like to see War Raiders more, just because, after watching them,
they won the champion. They retained their championships. Well, they won the championships, and then they were on TV, and then they weren't for like 3 weeks, and then they show up last week before their match at TakeOver to take out 2 wimpy-dimpy teams. And then they go to TakeOver and retain their titles, and the week after, they're still not there.
And I thought they looked solid in the match against Ricochet and Aleister Black.
It was good. So I don't know why they're not on TV.
Oh, they definitely need to use them more.
100%.
Definitely need to use them more on TV. Give them a push. Let people see what they are. Personally, I think they're better than what's the other group? The other 2 that are already up on the main roster.
Heavy Machinery?
Yeah, Heavy Machinery.
Yeah.
I think they're better than them right now. So that was pretty much the show.
Oh, Street Profits got the win, man. You didn't even talk about that.
Yeah,
but I think they're really pushing them, because I think they'll be the next ones to go for the titles.
Yeah. I'm
assuming, just with not having anybody, else there.
Yeah, it was a short show, kind of simple, quick. A lot of recap, which we kind of expected, because that's kind of what they do after they have, a takeover. It's just a short, simple 1 or 2 matches. Tonight we had 3, but they were pretty quick.
That's an all-time high for NXT.
Yeah, with a lot of, recapping what happened at NXT TakeOver.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's kind of the way the show went tonight.
Yeah.
We do have some news on AEW.
Well,
possibly.
It's kind of some rumors as of right now. So, from the Fight Oracle, he talked about that TNT, TBS, will possibly be presenting AEW. And AEW, that might mean that they're then on TNT or TBS.
Yeah, so basically what the rumor is...
They will have a TV deal.
They're going to present to the kind of the higher-ups for the fall schedule next month. They're presenting to Warner Media / Turner. The meeting is scheduled for May 15th. And it says this is generally how networks announce their content lineup for the fall season to advertisers. So if AEW, if this is true, maybe AEW has their television deal ready to go, which is huge because, you have TNT, TBS looking.
Now, what day do they put it on?
It depends on what they want to do. I mean, if they want to go head-to-head with... now that Tuesday's going to be open, I suppose they could do a Tuesday night. I know that WWE's going to have their hour-long show or whatever they're going to put on there, but, if you could put on Solid Wrestling on Tuesday night... I know some
people said underneath, they said, Saturday.
The issue I have with Saturdays is a lot of people are, out. Mm-hmm. And you're competing with a lot of other things on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Where Tuesday... I think a Tuesday, if you put it on a Tuesday, or even a Thursday, Tuesday or Thursday, you could, you kind of have the night to yourself.
Mm-hmm. I think Tuesday or Thursday would be a good deal, because then you have Monday Night Raw. I don't think it would be smart to have it on the exact same day as a WWE program, because...
Well, right now,
you might have some people that show up and say, "Oh, hey, this is interesting. I just want to check this out. But then they're going to go back to Raw because they know that that's...
They might or might not. I think that the way WWE has been lately, I think if they went head-to-head with WWE right now, if they put together good storylines, I think that they would come out looking strong.
I don't know. Personally, for me, I think it wouldn't be, just looking at it from like a business standpoint, I don't know if I would say, hey, let's put it on, all right, you got Monday Night Raw, where we're going to have AEW on Mondays too, at the exact same time. I just don't think it would be a good idea for starting up. I think you'd want to have it on a separate day where people can get you can have people check out your stuff when there isn't a WWE event on, and then you have an extra day to watch wrestling. And then you have an extra day that isn't something WWE is already using, so then people can get exposed to your product.
So that might be where they want to go on a Tuesday night.
Yeah. I know there was also talk that WWE would be on Fox on Fridays to begin with, and then sometime in the middle of it they're going to switch back and go to Tuesdays.
Which is possible. I mean, but by then maybe AEW's established themselves, and I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, if this is true, if the rumor's true, if everything they said is true, this is good for wrestling fans, in general. I mean, for those of you out there watching, if this is true, what do you think about the whole idea of AEW possibly getting looking at being on TV, TNT, TBS, and what day do you think would be a good day for them to have their show?
Let us know.
Because I think it's just interesting the fact that it's been kicked out there, and I realize AEW hasn't officially said anything, and they probably can't right now.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, I haven't seen anything on AEW's Twitter.
Which is why we're saying this is just a rumor, and, take it for, what it's worth, but obviously might be some smoke. And there's been smoke. There's been some smoke anyway with some of the stuff that AEW has said, and so,
Well, they have their pay-per-view coming up. Double or Nothing is here in the next month or so.
Yeah.
It's in May.
Yes.
I don't know the date. I don't remember the date off the top of my head. We'll figure it out, and we'll probably watch it depending on where they have it on at. And then we might come on here and do like a recap show or something.
Yeah.
Of checking stuff out. So, they'll probably get their TV deal out, if not before then after. So then they can have
I think you'd want to announce it before, so then you have an idea. I mean,
well, you might want to announce it before, but they probably would not start it until after Double or Nothing.
Well, I do definitely want to start until after Double or Nothing. They may not start till the fall, but the fact that, you want to get it out there so people know where to go, and after you do Double or Nothing, if people really like it, then they know that there's something to look forward to, and that it will be on TV. So
yeah. It's all about getting your name out there.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's the whole idea behind it is just to get exposure and get the name out there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at with that. I think that
pretty much all we got for today, because NXT was pretty short.
NXT, a lot of recap of what happened at TakeOver. If you want to know what happened at TakeOver, either get the WWE Network and go watch TakeOver, or watch our stream, because we talked all about what happened on TakeOver from the other night, Friday night. So go check that out.
Yeah. I think we're going to probably get out of here, because I'm going to go catch that new Dark Side of the Ring documentary thing that's on, Viceland, I think.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think that's right.
Talking about different superstars. I was watching one earlier on Bruiser Brody and his death, and there's one on tonight.
Pretty interesting.
About Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth.
Yep. So, again, reminder, we stream every Monday after Raw, every Tuesday after SmackDown, every Wednesday after NXT. We stream after every pay-per-view. If we have enough news or information, we will bring it to you live right here on our channel at the Wrestle Story.
Yes.
If you ever want to see anything change, want to see anything that may happen, see us do something different.
I will tell you guys, excuse the wonky lighting tonight. I don't know what is happening. It was all good before we started, and then it got all messed up.
Yeah.
I don't know. So we're going to fix that, and next week, everything will be great.
Yeah.
And, like, the lighting won't be screwed up, and I won't go see-through.
Yeah, you won't become a ghost. So anyway, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button, so you know when we do go live. Anything else we missed?
I don't think so. I think that's pretty much it. We'll be back on... Oh, actually, I think we've decided that we'll be back sometime towards the end of the week, like maybe this weekend, Saturday?
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Sometime this weekend. I know we talked about doing a Superstar Shakeup prediction thing, talking about who we'd like to see go where.
We'll see what happens over the next couple days. And
yeah, so be on the lookout for that. We may or may not be up this weekend.
Also, we are looking to do a podcast that we'll be sending out and possibly even starting to stream on, some other services as well as where we're at right now.
Yeah. So just keep on the lookout there.
Yes.
Make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell here. You can find us on Twitter. I am at Maven Gleen.
I am at Mr. Gleen, Mr._Gleen, and we are at The Wrestle Story.
And I'm on Twitter all the time. You ever want to hit me up with any questions or ideas or whatever, I'm on there all day, every day, 24/7. Well, not actually 24/7, but almost 24/7.
Yeah.
Let's just call it that.
With that, we're out. Peace out.